Hey guys, looky what I made. Some vegan stuffed peppers. And we had 6 of them, but we have demolished all but these last 2. And they are so good. So I want to give you my recipe. These are my own recipe. You can either copy it or just let me tell you what's in it. So it's 1 cup of brown lentils. And then I used 2 bags of brown rice, but I didn't use quite all the bags of rice. I used, if I had to guess, I probably used 1.5. 1 large onion, 5 whole mushrooms. So all I did was saute the onions and the mushrooms in a pan with some water. I don't use butter. And then once they got tender, I strained them, and then you cook your lentils in one pot and your rice in another pot. And then once it's all cooked, you put it all together in a big, big bowl. And put in as much rice as you want. Like I said, I used about 1.5. The other bits of it, I made some rice pudding out of it. And we still have a little bit of rice left over just to have on the side. And let's see. So you mix it all up and you can add your seasonings. I added Italian seasoning, salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder. Now you do that to your liking, because when I cook, I've shown before that I take this shaker and I just kind of go like this, so I don't really measure anything. If I had to guess, I could say 2 tablespoons of Italian seasonings and a dash of salt. I'd say probably an eighth of a teaspoon to a quarter of a teaspoon of pepper, and probably 1 teaspoon of onion and garlic. But those are just off the tops of my head. And then the tomato paste. I get 1 can of tomato paste. It's the biggest kind you can get. I use this size here, 12 ounces. And then you just mix it with some water to make it more like, more like a tomato sauce. You can kind of see the consistency here. But it's still kind of, firm. It's still kind of, what do I want to say? It's solid, but it has a little runny to it so that you'll have enough for like mashed potatoes. We had mashed potatoes with ours. And then I added about 1/2 cup of sugar in there. And again, just a quick measurement of Italian seasonings. I put that into my paste and my water and I mixed it up, and that's the broth or the juice that you see all over it. So when you put your peppers in a pan, now I used a big glass baking dish to bake them in. I had all 6 of them in a row. Then I poured the juice on top, and then I covered it with foil, and I put it in the oven, 375 degrees for about an hour. You could check it with your meat thermometer. We have this one here, which is not, this is like for chicken, and mainly you could see fudge and things like that, but I still used it, and ours said 75 Celsius, but I read that it could be 71 would be fine. Fahrenheit, that would be a little over, more over 150, but right here. So I just stuck it down in the middle of one of them just to make sure it was cooked all the way through. But yeah, they're so good. And I don't think I ever shared my stuffed pepper recipe. So give it a try. Hope you guys will enjoy it. Guys, I forgot to tell you in that my recipe. So I'm showing you cake now because we're going to have that. But in that in my recipe I just shared with you, I forgot to tell you 2 ingredients. Panko crumbs. You got to add panko crumbs in there. I never measured, but like I said, I just dumped it till it got sort of like a thick, consistency of like meat. You know what I mean? You put that in there, and then ketchup. I just sprinkled ketchup all over the top. That kind of holds it all together. And what else did I forgot to tell you? Oh, this recipe that I'm giving you, it is probably enough for 12 peppers, because what I did was, since I just made this recipe off the top of my head. I had so much left over, the filling, and I didn't have any more peppers, so I made a meatloaf out of it. And so basically, here's what I did with it. So I took the meatloaf, I took the, the filling from the peppers, and I just put it in a loaf pan, like a meatloaf pan. And once it baked, I put a little ketchup on top, and once it baked, I sliced them up into 2 pieces, and then I just froze the whole thing, because we had the 6 peppers, we wouldn't need this, So technically you could probably cut this recipe here in half to make for 6. This is probably going to make at least 12 peppers. But yeah, but that's all you have to do. So we have this, and I'll show you what else. So you see, out of this one recipe, this is how much rice we had left over. So I cut up apples, and I put in raisins, I put in maple syrup, I put in vanilla, and I stir it all up, and I made us a rice pudding. And then you can serve it with soy milk, which was delicious. And then we had this much rice left over. It was plain brown rice. So this recipe literally made a whole meatloaf, a container plus more, because we ate some of, so I'd even say almost 1.5 of these containers of rice pudding and extra brown rice. So again, this is way too big for 6 stuffed peppers, but I had to share the recipe with you because it is so good. So cut it in half. That's what I would say for 6. Just cut everything in half. This would be good for 12 peppers. Okay, so there you go. That's all I made out of my recipe. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys will try it for yourself, and you'll see how delicious it is. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Love yourself and others, and we'll see you here for another video. Bye.